So before I get into what is it? This is what makes me authentic, I guess. Um, Before I get into what is the fucking word I'm looking for? Quantum infinity. Quantum infinity. I want to talk about modernism, the term. And I was talking, this thing kind of like always confused me. Like, what the hell does it mean? And it's just like these philosophers, basically, like these people are way smarter than I am. Basically, the innovation of technology and art and everything from I don't know the 1800s to I guess 2000s or 2007. I think 2007 was a pivotal thing in our time. 2008, obviously. You can see a lot of things aren't being innovated or like culture, art, and stuff like that. And people blame the smartphone, but I also it contributes for sure. We're uh, constantly being entertained. We don't have any boredom, but it's also the economics of them printing out all the money. Basically turning us from a capitalist society into a straight socialist society. This is why it feels like we didn't go to we went into like a more of a capitalist society into more of a socialist. So maybe we were 25% socialist at that point, and then it put us up to like 40, and then like I don't know, the whole pandemic and stuff like that, that even made it, exacerbated it, a big word, made it even more so. But the whole idea of postmodernism, the term, I was talking to Grok about it, and I'm what does that mean, postmodernism? Because like modern means now, current, and like who's to say like during the Egyptian times like that was modern at some point. Right now it's modern, or in the future is going to be modern. So like it's just like the whole term just doesn't make sense, and a lot of these highly intelligent people like cling on to it like it's a sophisticated label, and it's like, dude, it's modern is now. Modern is now. So, like, who's to say that modernism is just like at one period of time and that's it? It just doesn't make sense. Um, but these people, it kind of seems like it's like ego driven, like they're the superiority or anything like that. That's what it kind of seems like. So quantum infinity. Now I'm an open-minded person, okay, and I realize that there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that we as humans don't know. We think we know everything, but we really don't. We don't even know how the universe really works. We haven't really been, we've been past the moon. Have we been past the moon as humans? Some people think we haven't even been to the moon. I don't know. I think that we probably have been, but I'm not for sure. Now we've sent out probes, and I think we have multiple probes that are outside of outside of Pluto. At least one of them's outside of Pluto right now. But we haven't had any human actually go out there. So we think we know what these things happen, like how the universe is formed, this and that, blah blah blah. There's a theory that in 2012 that CERN blew up the world that I was born in, and we all basically, some people think we went to like a digital reality, but like or on a computer or something like that. I don't know how that. There's no way to actually prove it, but I definitely don't think I was born in the same dimension that I'm in right now. And people, are, you're crazy. Well, the main thing is when I first found out about Mandela effect, it was probably like 10 years ago or something like that. And um, maybe 10 years ago, something, whatever, while ago. And I'm talking to AI, and Grok is basically like, "Oh, these are false memories." Like, yeah, there's a and it's like it's happened before, but I'm just like, I talk to people. It's not just people on the internet. I talk to people in real life, and you get they remember something, they don't, but I don't have the greatest memory, man. So like when I'm remembering this stuff, Publishers Clearinghouse and stuff like that, or uh, Life is like a box of chocolates. That stuff, like, I think it really happened. And it probably happened in some other dimension I was in. And this dimension I'm in right now is not that. So, unless like, the elites went into everybody's person, like, into their house and switched their DVD or VHS cassette or whatever, but a lot of people remember this, and you see footage of this type of stuff, pictures and footage, the cornucopia with Fruit of the Loom, stuff like this. They say, "Oh, it's just the elites. They change things. You rewrite history. The victors rewrite history." But why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense to make that subtle change in, like, especially cinema. It's like movie lines, popular movie. It's not just little movie lines. Maybe there is. Maybe it's just like the popular ones are the ones that we remember the most. But quantum infinity is basically you're cheating death. So I had a near death life experience when I was a kid. I was riding my bike, and there was an alley on each side, right? And I was going through the alley with my bike, and there's a road in the middle. I was like going as fast as I can, and then a car almost hit me. So stupid. I think I was probably like 11 or 12 at the time. And the car almost hit me, dude. Like, it was such a stupid thing for me to do. At the same time, I was also like, I lived in the city, not a city, but like a small town-ish, 20,000 people or whatever. And, I was in a residential area, and in my backyard, I was shooting birds out of with the BB gun, and just like picking them off, and then I'm just doing dumb things. That's what you do with your time. Like, when you're young, you do dumb things, especially being unsupervised and stuff like that. And obviously, I didn't do any of that again after I learned those lessons. But when we get into this real quick, it does seem like time's moving quicker, and it could be moving quicker. It could be because it feels like when you're younger, you have a lot more time on your hands. Time moves by slower, and then when you get to be older, and I've heard this other people, it moves quicker. So that's what could be contributing to stuff. Timing, feeling like it's moving quicker. Or, we're always on our phones. I remember going to the store younger, or the doctor's office, or just waiting in line, and I just had to sit there and just, like, people would conversate, but I never really liked to conversate. But I just pull up my phone now, and so you're never really bored. We're always like hitting our dopamine, our receptors. Back then, you couldn't. So I think that time might have had the perception of going slower back then than it does now. But that's just one way to explain it. It could be speeding up. We could be in a different dimension where time does go by quicker, or feel like it's going by quicker. Anyway, so these guys think that these guys say that they think of, like, the most horrific thing. And when I say, like, when Christians say that God will send you to hell forever, you're in a burning pit, but you're in a burning pit, and you're feeling something, and there's light, and there's other people, and even that would probably end up being better. That would suck, you're eternally suffering, but at least something's happening. To me, I think pure hell would be me living forever, my consciousness living forever. And that's what these people, these highly intelligent people say, that it's like a hypothetical type of thing where, you know, we go to, we escape death and we go to another dimension, and you just keep doing that and you live forever until, because eventually in this universe, unless there's like a recycling, which I think that is most likely probable, that this universe will all eventually end up being completely recycled. You know, I just look at like the seasons changing and life and death, light and darkness, and you know, it's like there's a patterns with everything. You know, I have to consume, whether it's animals or plants, I still consume things to survive, and that's what we do. There's like a like a back and forth, you know. So I don't think that this universe is just gonna keep, you know, just keep going and never be recycled into a different universe. That's what I strive towards, and I think that people should want that. Like, you don't want to live forever, because if you were to live forever in this universe and never have a recycling, if your consciousness was just to be, you end up by yourself. And that's what these people are saying, is like, you keep living, you keep on going, escaping death, and your consciousness lives on in a different dimension, which it could be probable, could happen. I'm not saying that doesn't, it's not going to happen, but if you could do that, then you probably could go to another dimension where you did die as well. So like, no, but this universe, if it doesn't recycle, it's going to eventually run out of energy. There's not going to be any light. Everything's going to die. And if you're just a consciousness stuck in this universe that's dead for eternity, forever, that seems like pure hell to me. You're just by yourself, complete darkness, only in your thoughts forever. Like that sounds like pure hell to me. Nobody else, like they say that everyone's around you, you just see everyone die and everything like that, and it's just, I almost would rather have that eternal suffering, you know, demons, or, you know, at least there's something going on, you know. Could you imagine just sitting there forever, complete darkness? You hear nothing, no silence. Silence. You just hear nothing but silence. Nothing but silence, nothing but darkness, only in your thoughts, forever. No one to talk to, nothing like that, nothing else going on, nothing to distract you. You can't have the internet, you know what I mean? Like, that would be scary as hell. You know, and we're actually drifting away from everything. We're drifting away from all the stars. Now, we could end up, hypothetically, be traveling towards more. We don't see him yet, but maybe someday we see more of a more cosmos. We're supposed to be going away from everything right now, and it's like accelerating. And I heard it slowed down because of dark energy. But like, where does that dark energy, like, where does it come from? How's it, why does it go slow? Why does it go fast? How, you know, they think it's hard for, they don't know what it is. So for me, the whole concept of, like, that's probably the worst hell, is just to be stuck in your thoughts for eternity, not being able to talk to anybody else, and just stuck in silence. Can't see nothing. Everything is dead. You can't even sit here and watch animals or something. You can't watch planets. You can't even watch that. You're just sit there for eternity. You can't do nothing. That sounds like pure hell. And almost like being, you know, being locked underneath the ocean for an eternity. Just complete darkness and silence. That would be pure hell. They have this room where it's complete silence, and people can only last like at the most 48 minutes, maybe an hour. I don't know. It's something that Microsoft has or something like that. Could you imagine? And you can't die? That would suck. But I think it could be real. But I also think if you can escape death, then you could probably figure out how hopefully you can go to a different dimension. Well, you would think that those different dimensions would still exist anyway. So if I'm stuck in this universe, I should be able to, since I came here and I was in different universes, I should be able to hypothetically go to another universe as well where I actually do die, or it lasts longer. You just keep jumping to universes. Uh, but yeah, that's my opinion on the whole quantum affinity. Like these people, they are somewhat creative people come up with this type of um, idea. Yeah. And it is funny that people think that they want to live forever. Like I really no, I don't want to live forever. I wouldn't mind if the environment was good. Not like right now I just want to be out of here, but if things end up being good, this is for me like when I'm more of like oh, you're a grifter, or like you no, I'm a pragmatic person, and you know I try to give capitalism a chance, and with this whole thing with Trump and the tariffs and everything like that. And hey, listen, if it works and it makes my life better, I can actually live a life instead of just like feeling like I'm in prison. I'm like, okay, then like rich people, I can, whatever, like have your match. Like I don't care, but I need to be taken care of too, man. Like, so, and I don't mind working these little peasant jobs. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I just want to be taken care of. I feel like I should have decent health care. But if it's not going to be provided to me by these corporations or these businesses, then I'm an essential worker, man. I need to be taken care of. Like I produce shit, I make shit fucking happen. I need to be taken. If I don't exist, if people don't like me, if people like me don't exist anymore because we die off, who's gonna do these fucking jobs? Because obviously these white collar workers are too big of pussies to do them. So who else has the grit? So you might want to take care of people like me. You would think that you would want to. Not look up to me like I'm some type of celebrity or pat me on the ass like, oh no, but at least make sure that we have a decent life and want to keep I want to have a life outside of work. I want to be able to do stuff. I want to be able to participate in the economy. I don't want to sit here and just like constantly look at my budget and feel and try to minimalize my life as much as I possibly can. I just took off my credit cards off of Amazon. I just took my credit cards off of PlayStation. I mean, a PlayStation Xbox. I don't plan on buying this shit anymore unless I really have to. I want to try to buy as less things as I possibly can at this point. But like I said, like I'm a pragmatic person, you know what I mean? So if things do change economically, and capitalism seems like it's not a detriment to my life, and I'm not gonna sit here and keep like, oh, defending the rich, like they're creating the best jobs, like I'd seen somebody post something where Jack Dorsey just laid off 4,000 people, and they already, I don't know if it's true, but somebody posted this, that they're doing good, and then all of a sudden like he just made like $200 million off of that. It's so crazy that that's cool, like, and I'm all for these white collar workers being humbled. It's crazy that they haven't been. It's crazy that these people are so comfortable, to be honest. Like I wouldn't be comfortable. And maybe they're just not paying attention, and that's probably what's happening. Is they're just not paying attention to stuff, and they're not taking AI. I don't think that people take AI seriously, and I'm seeing these people who are like conspiracy theorists or these libertarians say that, oh, I need to, like they don't even like have real jobs either. They just make content. You know what I mean? Dude, I don't want to work these jobs, man. And I will for if I'm taken care of, but I'm not being taken care of, so I don't want to fucking do it. I should be able to go out and buy a new car. I should. I have skills. It might not be the carpenter, but I do have skills, man. Like I can go from different places and adapt relatively really quickly to these different places, these jobs that we need. These jobs that robots aren't going to replace overnight. Like I couldn't imagine a robot getting one of these Tesla bots and then trying to make it do my job. You know how filthy it would, it would get so greasy and filthy. It'd be just it would just be spending like 20 grand on this thing and then just throwing it in there to get all nasty. Just crazy. But yeah, like I said, I'm a pragmatic person, man, and it's not that I'm a grifter. It's just like I look at the environment, and I feel like I was ignoring some stuff. I wanted to try to give the Trump administration a chance. I feel like it was the last effort at whatever the hell we were doing, and I don't see, and I know it takes time, but like we need results. Like to have, how demoralizing it is to basically the whole year of tariffs is just basically wiped out. And he says, oh, they're not gonna sue, but like you made 175 billion off of tariffs, and it could possibly be wiped all out. That whole year of suffering and everything like that we've endured, just wiped out, and then we have to do it another 2-3 years. Like we can't like you. And then what's gonna happen when we're gonna bail out these white collar workers because they refuse to? What's gonna be weird is like people at my level, actually, like we need people at my level, and it's gonna be weird how if these white collar workers, it's almost like the student loans, you know what I mean? And I feel bad. I think that they're predatory, but it's kind of weird how these educated people can't figure out how to pay off their debts. But they're like really smart, you know what I mean? They're supposed to be smarter than me. That's what they think. But they can't figure out how to pay their debts off. It's just so weird to me. These highly educated people. And I'm not sitting here like, because I'm in the same boat. Like I have debts. But it's not like theirs, I can just write my debts off, to be honest. I'm trying not to. I've never gone bankrupt. I'm trying not to go bankrupt. Right now I'm consolidating my debts, and I can still go bankrupt. I can go bankrupt at any time. Anything could happen. Something could happen with my car. Something could happen with me, with my health. And I'm not trying to I just want the white collar workers to stop acting like you're royalty and you're better than me, to be honest. Just calm down that's all I really want. Like I'm not sitting here like fuck, somewhat, but it's like I'm a humble person because I know it can happen to me too. Just stop thinking that you're a god or you're better than me. I work my fucking ass off. I am more important than you at this point. You are expendable. I am not. Quit looking down on me like I'm some type of homeless person or criminal. It's funny because I was trying to find a video of me talking about this, and I found one about almost 3 years ago. And if you go back, and it kind of sucks how YouTube has everything. You can't go back by the year. That would be cool, but you have to sit here and keep scrolling. It's like, why don't you fix that, man? But it was something. What did I post? Damn. It was whatever. Something about white collar workers. I don't know, whatever. It was like it doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna go back and look at that shit. And why should you? But what's funny too is I went back and all the way to the bottom of the seat. I was gonna see how far I went. I deleted a lot of videos, to be honest. A lot of political videos, which were really good, but yeah, I thought that YouTube might take my channel down, and I went like almost to the bottom. I went to the bottom, and there's like 7 videos that they took off. It's so crazy that they did that. They just like there's like, I'm not taking these videos down. Hopefully they get reinstated one day, or they probably won't. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. On a side note, for me, I'm getting more sleep, so that's a good thing. I've caught on pretty quickly at my job. Um, I think that people expect different out of me. You know, me to be more open. I'm not an open person. I don't know. Um, I definitely think that they were looking at me as some type of like eventually supervisor role someday, you know, years from now. But I definitely think that they're reevaluating that, because I'm not as dude. I'm a real person, man. I like to keep it real. You know what I mean? If I'm not in a good mood, I'm not gonna put on a performance, like put on a smile and jump and dance for you. Like if I'm in a shitty mood, I'm gonna be in a shitty mood. You know what I mean? Like I don't have a wife. I don't have a girlfriend. Women don't like me. That's quite obvious. You know, every woman I encounter, in reality, they don't. I can tell when they like me and they don't. None of them like none of them like me. So like, yeah, I'm kind of in a fucking shitty mood a lot of the time. I don't want to be, but I don't have a lot of joy in my life. And it is baffling, because it shouldn't be like this, to be honest. It should be the opposite. There should be a lot of women that like me. Um, but I'm looked down on, and you know, I'm not. The black pill. I'm black pilled some days. Other days I'm not. I feel like Rocky, where I'm constantly, you know, getting hit, being demoralized, and then I have to pick myself up, and it's just like in a couple of days I'm demoralized again. It's not like I'm doing it to myself. It's external factors. Some of it is me. Sure, some of it's me. I take responsibility for where I'm at in my life, you know, mistakes I've made. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. But there's other things that happen too that I can't control. That it's like I'm directly impacted, you know, like Big War was talking about today. We have to eat, and you know they put the chemicals in the food that poison us or whatever, and what am I supposed to do about that? You know what I mean? I don't have the money to get like a farm and start growing everything myself, and you know become, you know, it's just yeah. And another thing I wanted to say too is, people keep on saying the boomers are horrible, but it's also Gen Z. Okay, Gen Z is horrible as well. Whether people want, like, there's this trope that we have to like Gen Z is like the best generation, and you know, the way I look at Gen Z is like, I'm part of Gen Z. You know, I'm like a really baby infant Gen Z, Gen X. I'm talking about, not Gen Z. I'm talking about Gen X. I'm like a grandfather, a great grandfather of millennials. But I feel both sides. I'm on both sides. I'm both, you know, zillennial. I guess I'm called zillennial. But I've noticed, like, seeing these Gen Xers, they seem like boomers, to be honest, like the boomer stuff. And I think we need to stop just saying boomers are the problem. Gen X. I'm talking about not Gen Z, Gen X. Gen X are the problem too. They are becoming boomers. So, you know, like, Gen X had babies. Why are kids so horrible? You know, I've heard, why are kids so, well, like, your generation raised them. That's probably why. Who raised these kids? Probably nobody. They probably raised themselves. So I think we need to get out of this whole just the boomers are the problem. I'm not saying that they're not a problem, but it's also Gen X. And Gen X needs to be called out as well. So, like, nobody calls Gen X out. Everyone's too afraid to call Gen X out for some reason. Fuck Gen X, too. Fuck Gen X. Fuck the boomers. Fuck the millennials. Fuck Gen Z. Fuck them all. Like, you know what I mean? Fuck me. Fuck me, too, man. But, like, we're all the fucking problem. It's just like, probably if we continue this system, I'll end up being like a fucking boomer mentality as well. If I ever do get to have anything, you know, and, it's just, maybe not. Who knows? I'm more probably pragmatic and adaptive than other people. But who knows? It's hard to tell, you know. But I think that's what makes me different from a lot of people. I have like self-awareness, you know what I mean? I like that there's mistakes in my channel. I like that there's pauses. I like that I put like. I say like, I mess up. I say, you know, the first of this video, I'm like, I can't think, you know, sometimes, and a lot of times I just like re-record. I'm like, this makes it more authentic. This what makes my channel so great, in my opinion, is, and better than a lot of other people's, is the authenticity of it. How I don't pronounce words the best, how I don't have jump cuts or anything like that. Yeah, that's it.